Authors and artists work really hard on the stuff, so please support them using the links below. Shout out to new YouTube member by the gentlemanly name of Marcus Williams, and Patreon subscriber, it's AlexXX with 3 X's.
It's 4!
What? As he begins to head towards the ring, Universe 13's Vegeto reminds Kakarot not to get carried away, who piffs off the advice, scoffing he knows how to control himself, to which Vegeta simply replies, "Actually, no, you don't," somewhat agreeing as he takes his place against Pan. He instantly goes Super Saiyan, rolling his eyes and daring this quote halfling to try to hit him. As the young warrior powers up, the angsty Saiyan grows annoyed with Pan's combat strength. Frustrated, he has to behave during this fight. Effortlessly dodging, he only finds himself still stuck in the previous conversation he had with Vegeta. "We take orders from no one." "Will you stop it?" Lashing out, Pan hits the dirt as her adversary bellows how outclassed she is and needs to just forfeit once and for all. Getting a bit sidetracked, Kakarot complains he's always getting faced against these freaks, desiring nothing more than to hear his enemy's bones snap. And with a less than reassuring expression, he cackles he's not crazy, and Vegeta will see he can cope with his frustration. "Let's get this over with!" "Daddy's little brat is going to suffer!" "Stupid! Kill all humans, Kakarot! Don't kill the governor, Kakarot! Keep calm, little brother! Kill all humans! Don't kill the little girl, Kakarot! Your orders aren't even consistent, and they say I'm the crazy one!" As she attempts to finally mutter out her forfeiture, Kakarot begins to loudly laugh, calling her a pathetic waste. And given there's obviously so much human in her, how could he spare her? Turning to Yamcha, Tien, and Krillin, he furthers by explaining he killed all of them in her place, having pursued him for years, and the little one. Suddenly, remembering his name, the ruthless Saiyan thinks back to fond memories the two once had, before punching himself in the face repeatedly, commanding he forget about that, and killing humans is what's important. Dropping Pan in the process, he scowls down at her, saying how helpless and weak they were, and those who cannot save themselves deserve to die. Remembering back to when she was told it's up to her to protect the Earth now, she apologizes to her father and Goku, believing she's no match for these monsters. She's too young and too weak. When Kakarot utters, "You want to know what I do to little human girls?" Proving to be the trigger for Pan's transformation, her foe smirking, "So there is a little Saiyan in you!" And in a surprise, Pan surrenders, leaving Kakarot completely aghast. Turning her back, she merely admits her dad was right, and she gained incredible strength, but is still no match in this battle. But her weakness is only temporary, and she will soon become much stronger than him, and will protect the Earth from everyone like him, leaving the Saiyan with nothing more than a shocked expression, while the Vargas frown on the winner. Mirroring his face, Kate Vegeta is amazed she somehow managed to calm him down. The next bout will consist of Cell and Bojack. Cell more than eager to get back in the ring. Looking toward the Universe 16 Gohan with a sneer, he offers him a deal. In exchange for a rematch between the two of them, he will let the Half Saiyan decide how Bojack dies. Naturally, since his daughter fell at the pirate's hand. Staring back, he glances over to our Gohan and Pan, celebrating the young girl's evolution of strength. Speaking at last, he says his own daughter died because she was brave, and like her iteration that just left the ring, she will pass this trial in her own way and come back stronger than ever, dotting his speech by affirming revenge does not interest him and he has no desire for a rematch. With that, Cell flies off to the arena, but along the way, he shouts, each of them have killed other versions of each other, and that will need to be settled. With both fighters set, the match begins. While the villain powers up, the other villain reminisces on the days of the Cell games, when he was so proud of his strength and newly acquired perfection. And now it seems like warriors just as strong seem to just show up one after another. cockily leering back at his opponent, expecting him to be intimidated, but only continuing his self-indulgent monologue. In the good old days, he had some challenges, but now he's incomparably stronger. Clearly in for more than he expected, Bojack retains his confidence, mocking it'll take something greater than a gentle push to defeat him, as he's killed dozens of opponents that did the exact same thing. All while Goku and Vegeta comment on how stronger he's gotten, as they believe.
Let's do it, Worm!
You're looking for someone?
Even easier than expected.
Is that all? That's so sloppy.
Will you shut up?
Make me.
Impossible! Energy bombs! You can't move!
Neither can you.
Oh, they will cut you into pieces!
The girls of Universe 6 laugh and cheer how Bojack's group is getting humiliated again. Cat happy she decided to watch after all, causing Bujin to shout, "Hey!" knowing even against him they're most likely outmatched. Also not wanting Bojack himself to catch wind, Cat profusely apologizes, pressing she has no issue with him. But done being silent, he quips he can see what they're planning, knowing they're only here to kill Bojack. As the tyrant himself lies at the feet of Gohan and Brawl of Universe 16, the latter ready to let him have it. Looking up in terror, already far outmatched by Cell, Gohan merely turns the other way. Though his sister still argues he's in their area and it should be allowed, Vegeto reminds that's not how things work. Getting up, Cell drives his knee into the villain's back, using enough force to actually kill him upon impact, giving us an anticlimactic end to the space pirate. Walking back to his area, Cell mocks he'll leave it to Group 16 to clean up this mess. As not far away, Cooler points out this Cell creature seems to slightly resemble the Frost Demons, though Frieza's ego won't allow himself to see the same. While one of their henchmen strolls out, bearing a new unit of armor, boasting he and the crew spent all night putting it together. As Cold, still in his final form, puts it on, feeling a bit naked without it apparently. In a seemingly fitting match, we have Tapion and Krillin ushered to the stage, as Tapion has to be shuttled to the hovering orb, unable to fly. Dropping him off, the Namekian can't believe his eyes, as himself is a high-level warrior, and the gravity feels enormous, but these fighters don't even seem to notice a difference. When he eats those words, as neither human or human-like contestant fares very well against the aforementioned gravity. But using their own respective techniques, Tapion shouts, "Wrap me in your aura!" as Krillin fires up the Kaioken, making it far easier for them to find their way back to their feet. The Quinatian quips, if his opponent desires to leave, he shouldn't hesitate to do so. But the new Turtle Master didn't come here for nothing. As Tapion takes a defensive stance, Krillin knows he can't use the Kaioken for long, so he must attack fast. Acknowledging his opponent's strength, Krillin believes he has to be using some kind of shield. Tapion already aware he's far outmatched in terms of speed. Apologizing, he reveals he'll have to get a bit more violent, shouting, "Get out and fight for me!" And out pops Hirudegarn, Earth's hero admitting this is something else, as Tapion commands the monster to attack. Vegeto interested by the fact that Tapion can now contain this entire creature, while Goku is astonished the two of them are friends now. Raichi, overhearing, boasts that's simply due to his amazing talents. The Kanatian hoped it didn't have to be this way, but the only reason he is here is for the wish. As nothing appears to be working, it becomes clear to Krillin it's not the behemoth he must attack. This new strategy leads Tapion to believe his foe is growing tired. Firing right past the monster, even his own team begins to doubt him. Yamcha giggling, it seems the miseries of old age have finally caught up to him. But we know that isn't the case. Even though Tapion does appear to be correct in his belief Krillin is getting fatigued. Not fooled, Tapion knows this smokescreen will act as a means for his opponent to attack him instead of Hirudegarn, bringing him down to a knee. Krillin can only pray he stays there for 30 seconds. Tapion knows he himself is not nearly experienced enough for a fight like this. But in a lucky turn, Krillin goes down, leaving Tapion the winner. But even he knows he won't last much longer if he doesn't come up with a better method. Marking the halfway point of the second round, an official announces they will break for intermission, again ushering out the tables for the fighters to grub up. Turning to Goku, Goten can only grin, saying, "Hey Dad, I bet you were expecting that with..." But you ring the dinner bell and he comes a-running, already placing his order, which includes roast beef, a double serving of pasta, hot potatoes, salad potatoes, ramen, some cake, an assortment of fish, 12 kebabs, a mountain of caviar, and that tiny little toast that comes with it. Trying to one-up him, Vegeta demands double of what Kakarot is getting. Super Buu, having no need to indulge, is a little annoyed at the idea of taking another break so soon. The Kais invite Gohan to dine with them, as they gave thought to his previous request. The Grand Supreme Kai unveiling the new plan to use a set of Dragon Balls to immediately resurrect the victims of the first 2 rounds. As he thanks the deity, the Kai admits the other universes will surely appreciate it as well. Though there is something he has to ask the Half Saiyan. If Universe 18 also had a Vegeto, apparently under the understanding the 2 Gohans talked about it, because unless they're pulling a switcheroo for some reason, it's Universe 16 Gohan that's been communicating with the Kaios, who explains for a short time that was the case, but they split back into Goku and Vegeta while inside Buu. Naturally, before Potara fusion was expanded upon in Super. North Kaioshin blurting, "Of course, the Supreme Kais that Buu absorbed, they cancelled the merger." Gohan questioning why, West explains, the Potaras were made only for the Supreme Kais. Vegeto's mere existence is blasphemy. Admitting this was told to him before, he details how old Kai enchanted them so they would work specifically for mortals. Self-deducing, the Kaioshin essence which still resided within Buu couldn't understand that Vegeto existed for a very good reason, so it unconsciously separated him. Again, unfamiliar with our heroes directly, Shin feels this only further proves the Potaras are far too powerful and should never be used again. The Saiyans of Universe 13 approach Gohan, as they've come for, quote, "You-know-whats." Goku asking, "What? Food?" To which Vegeta reacts, very similar to our own. Standing, Gohan claims their Kakarot got carried away, but the prince is in no mood to be toyed with, as he believes they held up their end of the deal just fine, given his daughter came out unharmed. Reluctantly, Gohan knows he has a point, and goes on to explain that in Universe 9, there's an old Kaioshin who appeared during the fight against Cold. He's the one who has the ability to increase their power. To those who are worthy, that is. But warns, if Vegeta or the others threaten or attack him in any way, they'll be sent back to their own native realm, pressing they be very kind to him. Of course, Vegeta only piffs at the idea of being nice to anyone, but Gohan assures, if he changes his attitude, he will get stronger. Away, a Varga comes up to Jeice with a plate of chocolate buns, when the Ginyu-gun playfully slaps him roughly on the back, thanking him, but the slap was way too much for someone like him, crying that really hurt, causing Jeice to apologize, assuring he just doesn't know his own strength. Meanwhile, on Frieza's ship, the smack was just a ruse to plant a camera on the hosting alien, the plot obviously to spy on what they're doing without being detected. And we see, they've placed several cameras in various locations, believing surely at least one of them will tip them off on the whereabouts of the Dragon Balls. Thinking, Frieza continues to theorize whose body Ginyu could have snatched, considering Jeice, but doubting the others would possibly cover for him. Then again, they did greatly admire their boss, so much so, they still bear his name even today. But the Emperor remains in disbelief they could hide such a thing from him, when a henchman interrupts his train of thought, causing Frieza to bark out asking what he wants. Timidly, he only means to inform his master that if one of the cameras were to leave this universe, they would lose the live feed, but should be able to view the stored data upon its return. Walking off, he sneers that's better than nothing, but in reality, Frieza had just been imagining this lowly soldier was Ginyu himself, watching him, admitting he's starting to get paranoid. With the break over, we now get to see Vegeto take on XXI, apparently pronounced C, as the old Kai shouts in fear, believing it impossible for C to be here, wondering how the Kaios could bring such a being. Yamcha asking if he knows this guy, Tien pointing out they haven't even seen him yet, but as he emerges from the shadows, it appears to be an elderly man of unknown origin. As the Kai gets a closer look, turns out it's not who we thought it was.